In Exodus 24, there are a couple of really interesting things going on. One is the finalization of the formalities of this covenant that we're going underneath. The Israelites are going underneath. But number two, there's 74 people about to see God. If you're like me, you've probably not noticed this before, but 74 people are going to witness God in some way. And we're going to talk about that when we get to the verse. But that is kind of a mind blower, considering that all of these guys are going to be in some sort of trouble very, very soon. We get it in our head that if we just saw, if we could only just see, then we could stay out of trouble. We would believe, we would have faith, we would certainly not fall for the ploys of the enemy that we're used to falling for, right? But not so. Welcome to Embrace the Question. This is our Bible study with me series. We're over halfway now through Exodus chapter 24. This is the last chapter, and this is a short one. This is the last chapter of the formalities of the covenant. And then we are going to spend the next 6 chapters in a cloud with Moses, with God, on the top of Mount Sinai. The next 6 chapters. And basically, God is going to give Moses a download on all these instructions that he's going to have to carry out. He's going to have to delegate, but these are the instructions for the tent of meeting, the tabernacle. These are the instructions for the furnishings, who even to delegate to. Lots of stuff will be transferred to Moses or to the people over the next 6 chapters. And in that time, we are going to find that the people of Israel have lost hope that they're going to see Moses again, and they're going to start doing some wild and wacky things. Most of you know what that is. So let's get started. Take a look at this fairly quick chapter, Exodus chapter 24. We're going to start with the English Standard Version, Exodus 24, verse 1. Then he said to Moses, "Come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar." Notice that 70 is not a multiple. It is not a multiple of 12. How do we arrive at 70? If we go 6 elders per tribe, that should be 72. So perhaps we're talking about 70 plus Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron. And they would be both elders in the same tribe as Aaron. So we've got 72 that way, but we really don't know for sure how this breaks down. It just struck me earlier today, 70 doesn't quite work. So 70 plus Nadab and Abihu, that's what I'm going to go with. That gives us 72, 6 per tribe, plus Moses. Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but the others shall not come near, and the people shall not come up with him. Moses came and told the people all of the words of the Lord and all of the rules. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words that the Lord has spoken, we will do. That's the finalization of the covenant. When they say, that sounds good to us, we agree, that's the consent. Okay? It will be sealed with blood, and we are getting to that. And Moses wrote down all the words of the Lord. He rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the people of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. Here we go with the blood finalization. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he threw against the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has spoken we will do, and we will be obedient. Well, they meant well. All of this has now been finalized with blood. It's a blood covenant. That's the only kind that we find God making, strangely. When it comes to covenants, the Lord only makes blood covenants. So verse 8, and Moses took the blood and threw it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you in accordance with all these words. All right, verse 9, and Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. Get that. And they saw the God of Israel. There was under his feet, as it were, a pavement of sapphire stone, like the very heaven for clearness. This very much reminds us of John's vision of streets of gold that are transparent, his vision of the throne room in Revelation 4 and 5. We've got a vision of Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 6, and we've got one in Ezekiel chapter 1. There's similarities here. This is not one I would ever have brought up as being, well, what about Moses' vision? He saw the Lord. And yet, here in just a few weeks, maybe, it's not really clear, but it won't be long before Moses asks God to show him his glory. And God tells him, nobody can see me and live. Nobody can see my face. So you will have to watch my back, is how it translates. So what happened? If they are not allowed to see God and live, then what are they seeing here? Are they seeing a veiled God? Are they seeing a just a vision that would spare them? It's interesting to me because it seems to be always a tension of truths here. Something where at one point we have something, but over here we seem to have something else. And like I say, there's always a tension, but they always reconcile each other somehow, some way. Pavement of sapphire stone with the very heaven for clearness in this particular translation. All right, let's continue. And he did not lay his hand on the chief men of the people of Israel. They beheld God and ate and drank. I take that to mean they saw God and they lived, and they ate and they drank. They survived the experience. The Lord said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain. Wait there, that I may give you the tablets of stone with the law and the commandment, which I have written for their instruction. So Moses is going to go further. He is going to go past the point where these leaders of Israel have gone, even Aaron. These will all go back down the mountain. Moses will continue onward and upward. So Moses rose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up into the mountain of God. It's really unclear how far Joshua gets to go here. In fact, if you read it too quickly, which apparently I've done twice now, you miss the fact that Joshua is even there. Joshua, who will be the heir to Moses in leading all of this people. It's an incredible, what he must take in here is absolutely incredible. Perhaps this is why Joshua chooses from this point forward to stay in that tent of meeting, because Joshua loves the presence. He loves it. Maybe this is where he gets his taste for the presence. Okay, verse 14. And he said to the elders, wait here for us until we return to you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. Whoever has a dispute, let him go to them. Remember, Aaron and Hur are the two that held up Moses' arms. They are elders of Israel. Joshua included in the we. Wait here for us until we return to you. Looks like Joshua's going as well, although he's really not referenced by God in this interaction. Then Moses went up on the mountain, we're assuming with Joshua, and the cloud covered the mountain. The glory of the Lord dwelt on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the seventh day, he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. Just imagine. Now the appearance of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the sight of the people of Israel. Moses entered the cloud and went up on the mountain, and Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. Again, assuming Joshua is at least close by. And 40 days and 40 nights is a long time. It's a long time to be up on top of a mountain. I'm doubting with a backpack full of food. The next 6 chapters, Moses is just drinking from a fire hose of Holy Spirit. Just gathering information. These are your instructions. This is what we're going to be talking about for the next 6 weeks. So yes, very short chapter, but sometimes short doesn't mean shallow. It's very, very much packed with things to think about. In fact, I will never again think of encounters with God in the throne room without thinking of Exodus chapter 24, because these men saw something and lived to tell the tale. Pretty neat. Okay, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but please visit solwaycoffee.com, SOLWAY coffee.com, and pick you up a bag of Solway coffee. Man, this stuff's pretty good. I like the Galloway Dark, and I've been drinking it this morning. Get you some. It'll support kingdom work across the pond. Or if you are across the pond, it will support kingdom work in your neighborhood. Okay? Hope you're having a great week. Look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Be blessed. Peace.